It seems like by the day we keep on saying things could not get crazier for the CS2 investing market, and yet they still continue to do so. If we want to look at our current market right now, talking about our sticker capsules in the major area, we can definitely see a lot's going on. Obviously, our Evil Geniuses Hollow is approaching $250 now, which that's an absolutely insane price point, and none that I definitely did not think we were going to be seeing. Stockholm Legends capsule approaching $7, which is crazy high, and the fact that the ROI on this thing is still so crazy, obviously because that Evil Genius Hollow is so expensive, it's a very interesting predicament, and it's not just the Stockholm areas as well. We talked about the Copenhagen, the Shanghai, obviously nowhere close to the extent we're seeing for some of these Stockholm and even a couple Antwerp stickers, but there's so much going on here, it's absolutely insane. However, we're starting to approach the point, especially with these major stickers and major capsules specifically, of when is the breaking point. These things cannot go up indefinitely, and we talked about it previously, but there's a lot of ways a sticker market can crash, and there's a lot of times it has in the past, and therefore we're left in this situation now where obviously the prices keep on going up, and yet we're left in this position now where by the day it seems like these prices can't go any higher. They do go higher, and they go a lot higher, which is really scary because that makes people think they have the opportunity to make money. But don't worry, at the end of the day, your Paris capsules will always remain less than what you paid for them, as seen by this example right here. Skinland is today's sponsor, and if you're looking to sell your CS2 skins, they are the #1 spot. Now with Valve's latest update, you have to wait 7 days to go ahead and get your money, but with Skinland, you're going to be able to get the best rate possible with a $10 free bonus on your first trade. Now don't forget to use code MasterShiny for that bonus, and the best part about this is they are one of the first to bring this back, and they are the most safe option to sell your CS2 skins for cash. They've also got a massive marketplace if you're looking to pick up some CS2 skins as well, significantly cheaper than the Steam market. I sell on Skinland for the best rate, so don't wait. And I don't think anything better iterates what's going on right now than this right here. For the first time in CS2 investing history, we've got 3 capsules above 100% coming from a major that is still on sale more than a week later. This is absolutely insane. The prices of what we're seeing all across the board for Austin right now is crazy. I mean, this is such a monumental situation because these are usually at 50 to 60%. Right now, they're nearly double that. Now, one of these capsules does slightly make sense when we're talking about our contenders because there's 16 teams in it. We haven't seen that before. Therefore, we could justify the prices being a little bit higher, but the other two are still showing incredible demand. $25 for the Team Liquid Hollow. We've got almost the same for the Falcons Hollow as well. These are crazy prices, especially for Austin here, and definitely showing that people are really interested in this specifically, even if it's not being unboxed a ton. Now, if you want to make an Austin investment, that's on you, but as always, please do not go into these souvenir packages right now. I honestly don't see anything that really makes them appealing, and especially if this is going to be on sale until basically the next major comes, there's going to be no room for growth when we're talking about these souvenir packages because they're all going to be brought back, minus Anubis, but Anubis has definitely shown that it does not have really much demand out there in the current market for its souvenir format. I would be very careful of everything inside of this area. Now, we've seen these explosion in prices all across the board. The biggest one that has definitely caught a lot of people's attention is going to be these agents. Now, agents are ones that over the past week or so have just shot up in price, like 3 to 4xing, something like the Maximus Saber, which we talk about shadow web agents traditionally are the worst when it comes to growth. This one just 3x'd in the span of 6 days, which is absolutely insane. It's probably going to drop down, lose some of that value, but the fact that it's even remotely close to this value at the current market. Then we've got everything going on in the skins market. It might have felt like we talked about this in the previous video, but the truth is this is so interesting because the fact that they're sustaining these prices and they're actually growing from the prices we talked about previously. Usually when we see an item shoot up in price, especially when it's heavily manipulated like some of these are, drops down relatively quickly. But because of the investing hype we're seeing all across the board right now, these prices are sustaining, which is so interesting. It's something that we really don't see often, especially for this widespread of a situation where nearly every single item that shoots up in price, the majority of them, if they've got at least a little demand behind them, are keeping those prices moving forward, maybe going up, maybe going down slightly, but they're not going back down to that level we saw previous to the hype. Now, even with everything going on in the brand new highest market cap, once again, there is still a lot of underrated areas in my personal opinion. First one's going to be filler skins. Now, there's a lot for filler skins. We've got the light blues and we got the regular blues. The regular blues are a lot more susceptible to current market changes because there's 2 still in the active dropping collection, so I'd be very increased in my cautious for that area specifically. I think there is some profit to be made, but I think it's a lot better if you go for the light blues, which are a lot more stable. We know exactly what we're getting inside of this area, and the best part about that is there's no competition for those specifically, so you know that long term, theoretically, they should end up in a very strong position. The other area I would say is honestly play skins that look very good that haven't seen some major increase in price. Could be a great opportunity to look at some of those, especially if you want to get some more play skins right now. It seems like there's a very high amount of demand for these specific play skins in just general speaking, and therefore if you find ones that haven't shot up in price already and you feel like they're probably going to retain their value, they're not from like like an active duty case or anything like that, it could be a very strong opportunity. Remember though, don't get any active duty skins, don't get any active collection skins, as those are most likely going to be way too volatile and drop down in price long term. And it's not necessarily an underrated area, but right now my favorite hands down investment is going to be into the rare case market. We are talking about one of the best opportunities we're talking in a while to see a really good entry point into this area specifically. Right now we're seeing a lot of stagnant prices all across the board, which is really good, showing that these prices are not decreasing during a time of lower demand. If we want to look at the unboxing numbers right now, it is not a great time for these rare cases. Let's be completely honest here. They are definitely not in that peak position they were just a couple months ago, but then you got to remember the context of what we're talking about here. Rare cases make up 1% of the drop pool. There's 40 some items in that 1%. If you want to look at a graph like this, there is so many more cases being unboxed than there is coming in, and that's just for the rare cases here specifically. If we want to talk about the general game, it's a little bit more even, but still overall these rare cases are in a fantastic position moving forward, even if the demand is not necessarily there right now. And one of my favorite parts about what's going on right now is if you throw up a relatively low ball buy order, it's probably going to get filled, just because we're seeing some pretty decent fluctuations from day to night. Overall, I really like what we're seeing for the rare case market long term. In the short term right now, it could be a great buying opportunity. I think there's a lot of great investments inside of this area, and if we want to look at the data at the end of the day, these are some of the most solid investments you can make into CS2, because we know exactly what they're going to be looking like long term, which is all you can really ask for. Now, we mentioned it a little bit earlier with Austin, but another great indicator is going to be looking at the Armory to see the investment demand on how hyped things really are, and we can definitely see things are out the wazoo right now. We're talking about character craft collection stickers at 167% ROI, missing link charms 160%, the elemental and the small arms charms as well are still crazy high. Overall, things are definitely in a position where people are really trying to invest into these specifically. It also is probably a little bit of a combination of the fact that people are not really grinding out the Armory as much as they used to, but the items are still in very heavy demand right here. If you want to look at the application numbers, they are also definitely still being applied at very heavy rates. It's a very interesting position because the Armory is keeping on going up in terms of this unboxing ROI. Obviously, it's going to hit a point where it comes back down most likely, but people are really interested in investing into these items, maybe applying them as well. There's a lot going on here for the Armory. Now, talking about generally what's going to be coming next for the CS2 investing scene. Well, obviously we've got the Austin major sale going on right now, and that's probably going to be continuing all the way almost up until the next major, which is coming in just a couple months, but there's still a fair amount of time before that. We're probably going to be seeing some sort of update that comes for the Armory relatively soon. I think probably in the next month to 2 months I can see a refresh, a revitalization. We don't know exactly what, but I would not say it's off the table for Valve to do something with that. It'll be a year at that point. And overall, we have not seen a brand new rare case come into the game that did not go into the Armory in a pretty significant amount of time. I think that's very highly on my table of what I would like to see, but we don't know exactly if Valve is on that same position as well. There's a lot of things upcoming that are going to impact the market most likely. That's all I got. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day.